Welcome back, everybody, to another Pushing the Pace podcast with myself, as always, Elias. I am joined today by my co-host, Samuel. Today, I'm very excited. We are back after another hiatus. It's hard to get a podcast every week when half the league is tanking, as we talked about. But we are here to talk about some real deal contenders and their X factors. We're getting there. About a month left of the season. At this point, I'm ready to go to the playoffs. I'm excited for the rest of the games like we talked about. I'm excited for some of the matchups, but like every single night, like half the games, I could not care less about. I do not watch. It's just a lot of bad teams playing a lot of other bad teams, and I don't care to watch. So I'm excited to go to the playoffs. So we're going to be talking about contenders, X factors. We got 10 teams. We're going to go back and forth and, talk about an X factor, whether that be a player, just the team in general, something that they need to do, something that could sway them in the playoffs one way or another. Would you like to start or shall I? Because I have a couple. Some of them are going to be obvious. Some of them I think are a bit more, in depth. But I think I'll start. I'll start for Oklahoma. For the OKC Thunder, there's a couple different ones, but I think my biggest X factor for them is going to be Mr. Chet Holmgren, because this is a guy that, in my notes I wrote, however well defended Shea was last season, last playoffs, he's going to be defended 10 times harder. Every single game is going to be everybody else beat us because J-Dub has been out for so long. I think other teams are really going to try and push, how much is an AJ Mitchell going to be able to handle offensive creation? Jared McCain. We'll give the ball to Lou Dort, to Caruso. You guys got to do something. At the heart of their offense, I think Chet Holmgren really needs to be integral because he had his first 20-point game 3 days ago against the Knicks. He had a 28-point game. I think most of those were threes in the first half. The last time he had a 20-point game was January 27th, I believe I checked, against the Pelicans. So he went about a month without scoring 20 points. Obviously, there was All-Star break, less games in February, whatever, but still, he hasn't really taken a huge leap in terms of self-creation. And I think in the playoffs, teams are going to challenge him. I think there's going to be a lot of possessions that end with the ball being in Chet's hands, and whether that be him, shooting a three, a catch and shoot three, or trying to create one-on-one against somebody, like a post up or whatever. I think his ability to score like that is going to be hugely important because teams are going to try to deny Shea as much as possible. And J-Dub is another potential X factor, but he just hasn't played. I really don't know how he's going to be in the playoffs with how much of the season he's been out.
I completely agree with this one. Like I was thinking about OKC and I was like, yeah, Chet. Like Chet, this is going to be a very big time playoffs for him. And you're completely right. When it comes to playoff, it's how much can we get the ball out of option A's hand? And especially when option A isn't this like he's not an incredible playmaker and all. And Shea doesn't kill you that way. Shea kills you with his scoring, his 1v1 scoring, his downhill attack, and all. So yeah, they're going to make Shea a playmaker as much as possible. And those plays are going to find its way to Chet with 6 seconds running up down the clock, 8 seconds running down the clock. And he has to self-create. And he has to self-create and how he shows up in that, especially with the fact that we don't know where J-Dub is, right? In terms of his cardio, his fitness, his everything, right?
His wrist, I know he had a lower body injury, but he had still surgery from that wrist.
On the wrist. And a wrist injury, I've had a wrist injury that, okay, I didn't surgery or anything and all, and I would say, I won't even call it a wrist injury. I just had a wrist sprain from the gym, doing power cleans. And it took weeks upon weeks. And some of those things, you just let it be till it gets better. And he had a surgery, season at the end of the season, and it took him a while to come back. And now he has a lower body. So pretty much it's just more like J-Dub, yes, we understand what he brings to the Thunder. Chet, I think defensively is him and Scotty are up there, defensive player of the year this year for me.
Mhm.
And Chet is incredible defensively. Like he's amazing defensively. Like the guy is sensational. I don't say it too much and I don't talk about it too much, but every time I watch because I'm like, this guy is something else, man.
Yeah.
Uh, but offensively would be where the question comes more and all.
Yeah.
So another X factor I would always say was is Alex Caruso, just because of Caruso is anytime OKC makes a run, anytime OKC are involved in some sort of defensive any type of back break in defensive plays for against the opponent, Caruso is always there. He's the
Yeah.
one guy in a
Mhm.
playoff series that you can be rest assured that for 7 games every series, he's going to make these plays that are just
Yeah.
like just incredible for momentum wise and all. But I completely agree. It's going to be Chet answering a lot of questions on the
Yeah.
offensive end. 8 seconds left. We're gonna funnel the ball to you. We're gonna funnel the ball from Shea to Ludort to Caruso to all these guys. Then Chet is most likely going to get it, and
Yeah.
you have to work with a quick time clock and all. And how he shows up there is going to be very
And
important.
he's
So yeah,
paid. He's paid like one of the guys, like the top
yeah,
3 guys on this team. He's gonna have
yes,
to show something in the playoffs.
yes,
Like, you're gonna have to carry stretches of the game where either Shea is not in or Shea is just being face guarded, double teamed, whatever, like crazy.
yeah, yeah.
And I
Completely
agree with
agree.
Caruso as well because he's more so than Dort or even Case and Wallace. I feel like Caruso defensively can be just so, you're right, backbreaking, and some of the steals that he gets, just momentum. I remember in the playoffs against the Nuggets where he just had like a couple possessions in that last game that really just sealed the deal for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, the
I
OKC
com
is
I
an
com
interesting team.
I completely agree. My pick is going to be the Detroit Pistons, and I am selecting one Duncan Robinson. And my
Mm,
biggest thing for selecting Duncan Robinson, I thought about Duran, but I was like, that's kind of easy. Like, those are the 2 best players. They have to show up.
yeah,
But the reason why Duncan is very important, and just like how he was for Miami all those years, is in the playoffs, we've just said it. Cade is going to get a certain amount of attention with their spacing being the way it is. Their spacing is not great.
hmm,
The one guy that has to be a pressure reliever for that offense is going to be Duncan Robinson. How much can you be a terror on and we've seen him do it in the playoffs. We've seen
yeah,
him do it so many times for Miami in the playoffs and all. And one of the good things about Duncan now is that he's no longer I think the last 2 years in Miami, he started taking the ball off the dribble on the floor. Like
yeah.
started putting the ball on the floor and
Yeah,
all.
the
So he's no
two-man
longer
game with Bam Adebayo.
yes, he's no longer like so like he was still deadly when he was just so perimeter oriented and all. But now he's just going to be he's the one legit shooter.
Yeah,
Like one god-forsaken like bad shooter in a good way. You get what I mean? Like the one that puts a bit of tension on teams' defenses. And I just feel for the Pistons run, that's going to be it. Their spacing, Cade can have inefficient games, and that's
yeah,
going to most likely happen to him and all, right? But
yeah,
the most important, I don't think they're going to lose games because Cade is inefficient. That's just going to come with turnovers, with playing a long. You're going to be playing 42 minutes of playoff games now, right? So that's just going to happen and all. It's going to be how can they space the floor? And Duncan Robinson is going to have to be that answer for them. Like he has to be a major
yeah,
part of their offense and just pressure reliever for Duran, for Cade. That pick and roll with Cade and Duran is going to be scouted for. It's going to be
yeah,
scouted for more than ever. And open side corner, early corner, or handoffs. So
yeah,
many different things are going to have to be run with Duncan to relieve that offense. And I think Duncan Robinson is my X factor for the Pistons if they are going to, if they're looking like the first seed in the East, and I think they have a legitimate chance. Like it at this point, obviously, it's crazy to say that before, but if they don't make the Eastern Conference Finals with me, I will be a bit disappointed, genuinely.
yeah,
And and they and I think if they make that, Duncan Robinson will be an important reason why.
yeah. I've been feeling a bit more down on the Pistons as the season has gone on, especially after the trade deadline, because they make a trade for Kevin Herter. He hasn't really played. You're absolutely right on the shooting. I kind of wrote half court offense in general because I saw a tweet by Nikias Duncan. I believe this was like a game or two ago. I don't even know if this accounts for the Spurs game, but the Pistons had their 19th game with a half court offensive rating under 90 points. And
Mm, 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 mm.
10 of those games have come in 2026, and it's 4 of 8 since the All-Star break. So their half court
They lost
offense.
their three. They lost their last three games against
Yeah,
Brooklyn, against
yeah.
Cleveland, against
Oh, man,
and against
That Brooklyn loss is bad. Brooklyn was down by 25 points against the Pistons. They came back. Cade wasn't in that
yeah.
game, but that's a bad loss to have, obviously. And then the San Antonio game was just, oof, man, just destruction by the Spurs. And then they also lost to the Cavs. So they had a pretty tough stretch. I believe the rest of their games are pretty easy to end the season, but I'm feeling a bit more down on the Pistons as a 1 seed, not only with their half court offense, not only with their spacing. You're absolutely right. Like Duncan Robinson is the one positive. If you have Duran and Asar, or Duran and Ron Holland, or
It's not if you
Duran
have,
and
you have to have Dorian
yeah,
and Osar.
yeah,
Right?
you
Like
do, and
you do.
whoever is defending Asar Thompson, man, you'll give him the
Yeah.
entire side of the floor to Rasard
Yeah.
Thompson to shoot the ball. They will not
Completely agree.
care. So I am a bit worried about that. And uh, I hate to admit it, but I believe Cade Cunningham's true shooting for the season is now lower than Paulo Banchero. He's had a lot of games where he chucks shots, and I've taken a blind eye to it because I'm like, who else on this team is gonna
Damn.
shoot?
I want to see something. I actually want to see something. I was looking at it right now.
Yeah.
I want to see something.
Um, but
Bro,
yeah,
he's 288 in the league in true shooting.
288. Oh
Bro,
man, yeah, 55.9%. Oh man, I like I said, I've taken a blind eye to it in so many games because I've taken the mindset, if it's not Cade, I don't really want a
one
lot of
so,
other people to
so this is the
shoot the
thing.
ball.
I think the variance is going to not favor Cade even this playoffs. I just don't think he does so much. He brings so much playmaking wise, defensively. He's the leader of the team. He's the best player on the team. I think he's going to see coverages like crazy. And I just think the turnovers are going to be bad. The shooting some nights are not going to be that good and all. But
Yeah,
I think what he does playmaking wise and just he's going to score. He's going to have to score. And I'm sorry, if he has 40 shots on 30, if he has 40 points on 30 shots, so be it. Because this offense is just going to have to take it and all. And
yeah,
again, he has to let it rip. Literally, he
absolutely.
has to let it rip. So I don't think I'm like Cade's shooting, and it's weird, right? Because we judge players differently. And I just think right now, with where they are as a team and all, I think it's something that I'm completely fine with. Like I'm like if I see a 7 out of 20 nights, I'm going to be okay. Like whatever. You kind of have to
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
kind of have
that's
to
the
just
way
deal
they're
with it.
constructed. The way they're constructed is Cade
Yeah.
has the liberty to take all these shots because they don't really have another real on-ball creator like that. And I
Yes.
think in the playoffs, um, you know, if they don't make the Eastern Conference Finals, like the way you said it, like you would be disappointed. It's kind of crazy because I agree because of how open the East felt, but now Boston has Tatum back. I
Yes.
mean, bro, if they match up against the Hornets in round 1, oh
Uh,
man, there might be a couple games where it gets a little scary because the Hornets
yeah.
offensively, man, they will just let it rip and they'll make their threes much more
Yeah.
than whatever the Pistons will do. Yeah, that's a great pick. Next one, I guess I'll stay in the West. This is I'll go the Rockets.
Okay.
Their X factor
I think I know who you're gonna say, but
Their
let's
X
go.
factor is entirely Reed Sheppard, both
Oh,
offensively and defensively. Offensively,
oh,
I think they're at the point where they need him out there. They need his shooting, they need his ability to dribble, they need just the amount of shots that he takes and some of the passes that he has are really decent as well. Their offense, when it comes down to it, especially in clutch time, is just we'll double KD. We'll give Şengün the ball at the 3-point line. Şengün, can you make something for us? No. Amen Thompson, do you have a line drive to the rim? No. All right. Well, then we lost. I think Reed Sheppard is going to be very important for this team offensively. And at the same hand, defensively, he's going to be picked on. I think he's going to be very important for this team to have some type of success or even make it out of the first round. Because depending on matchups, I could see them be a first round exit. Just because of
Yeah,
the way, yeah, because of the way their clutch offense ends up going, because of the way, you know, just their entire lack of spacing. You know, Ime Udoka, you got to put your pride to the side, man. You got to play this guy 30 minutes a night in the playoffs, or else I
the-
think it might get scary for
he's
them.
going to be sought out though. That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Offensively, he's an X factor, and defensively, he's also an X factor because it's like,
If Reed Sheppard is going to be cooking us offensively, bro, we are going to bring him to every single action. You get him off the field, you get him off the
yeah,
court. Like he's going to be attacked a tremendous amount.
hmm
It's going to be take or give. Like it's going to be a very tough decision. And I obviously I don't see how many minutes has Reed played this season per game. I don't see
let
he's
me
played
see.
25 minutes, which I am very surprised about. Remember,
Yeah,
I was looking forward to him having a very good season, which he's had. He's had a pretty good
hmm
season. But I didn't think Ime Udoka was going to play him 25 minutes. Can this number be replicated in the playoffs? We're going to see. We're going to
yeah,
see because defensive coaches are defensive coaches, man. Once they see this happening over and over and over again, I feel they're going to go back into their shell of just being like, bro,
yeah,
we can't have this guy out here, man. We can't
yeah.
have this guy out here. So
I could totally see that.
it's gonna be a very interesting decision because especially in the clutch, right? In the clutch, that's that's court offense, half court offense is gonna be crowded. You have
hmm
Şengün, you have Amen, who you have. The person I would say that would
Yeah,
be
who's yours? Because you thought that I was gonna say exactly what you were thinking.
I thought you were gonna say Amen, but
Mm,
But I think when I think about it right now, it's going to be Jabari. It's going to be Jabari Smith Jr. just because he's the one functional player who is a great 3-point shooter.
yeah,
Let's say great. Let me see. What was he? Was he have?
I
Yeah,
just checked.
36,
It's pretty decent.
6.5. He's pretty decent,
Yeah.
but he's the one good 3-point shooter that's positionally
hmm
positionally still fits what Udoka wants to do out there for the Rockets. He's
Yeah.
like 6'9", 6'10". He's long. He can he he matches up positionally defensively. He's going to have a lot of open. He's going to get open shots that he has to hit in clutch time and in close games and throughout the whole playoff series. So positionally, he fits the eye test. Is Jabari a great defender? I wouldn't say that yet now, but he has the size. He has the
Yeah.
size that helps their rebounding,
Yeah.
that is able to be able to fit across different players or different matchups on the field. And I don't think he's going to be sought out after like with Sheppard is.
Yeah.
So I think just because he's just because of his positional size and him fitting what the Rockets want to do out there in terms of rebounding and being like at least having the tallest guy on the field being on the court being 6'7" and
hmm
all. I think Jabari Smith is going to have to Jabari Smith Jr. is going to have to play a big part for them and all. So yeah, that would be my pick.
For sure. No, that is a great pick. Man, I just looked at it. It feels so weird. Jabari has been in the league for 4 years already,
It's
and he's
crazy.
only 22. Still
Yeah.
pretty young. But yeah, I wonder if he's definitely a guy that would need to take a step up in this playoffs for them to have
Yes.
a real
Yes.
chance to win.
Yes. Yes.
All right, what's your
Okay, for
next?
me,
You
I
don't have
am
to stick to the
going.
East if you don't want to. There's
I don't
not
have
that
to pick.
much there.
I don't have to pick to the East, right? I am going to go. Just let's get it over with, man. Uh, 1 second.
Oh man,
Actually,
I know what this is.
I want you to talk about this team. I don't have, you know what? I'm not talking about them.
Okay, never mind.
I'm gonna move on. I'm going to go the Cleveland Cavaliers, and
Mm,
I think this is quite simple. This is quite simple. It's James Harden. It's James Harden.
okay.
It's James Harden.
Yeah,
And
that is fair enough.
typically we don't call X factors the top one or top two player of the, but just because of the context of everything that's happened, just because of the context of who he is, James Harden is the freaking X factor for this team.
Yeah.
Because brother, once April starts calling, the ghosts start appearing. And James Harden is going to play a big part just because the bigs are going to have a lot of great looks with him. We just know how he is with bigs
Yeah.
and all, and how much he gets them in position, even Mobley, Jared Allen, and everything. And this team has to, I think we keep forgetting, this team has to make the finals.
Yeah.
Them and the Knicks, both of you, is either maybe you guys create an alternate reality where both of you go to two finals. Because I keep telling you, like, it's like it's doom, or like whatever happens at the end of the season for the Cleveland Cavaliers and Knicks, one of you not making the playoffs, or
Not
both
make
of
the
you
finals.
not making the finals.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
finals. My bad. Is a disaster. And James Harden,
yeah.
that was the only reason why they brought you here. For some reason, they thought you're the answer to get them to the final, right? Which is insane to me. But let me give them a little bit better benefit of the doubt. I don't believe in it, even in that.
Mhm.
But he's the X factor, man. Harden, come playoff time, you have to show up. Not just game one, not just game two. In that game 5, when you're 3-2 down. In
Yeah.
that game 6, when you know, when it's 3-3. In that game 7, it's
Yeah.
not, you can't. Hey, the greatest choker in the history of in his generation has to answer the call and all. And the Cleveland Cavaliers have to make the finals and all.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. I would say Mitchell is so lucky. Donovan Mitchell is so lucky.
He has another
No,
out.
he has another out. He
Yeah.
has another out.
Because yeah.
I've never been so, like, I've not heavily criticized his playoff runs all
Mhm.
these years. He's the third leading scorer in playoff history and all. But in all those games, people can go watch those games, a lot of those games where Mitchell had a lot of big time scoring games and all. As much as he shot his team back into games, he shut them out again of those games. Like, there were a lot of times where he would go on this scoring burst in the third quarter and he scored like 15 points or the last 15 points and stuff like that. And he doesn't know when to stop. He doesn't know when to now, oh, I have this attention on me. Let me move the ball. Let me get my teammates involved. There's more openings and all, right?
Mhm.
He just goes on the opposite end of, like, him being hot to him being cold. And he shut his team out of this thing. He's played terrible defense a lot of times. But now he still has an out. Because everyone is going to be solely focused on Harden.
Yeah.
Solely focused on what
There
Harden
is a
does
common
and all.
denominator between all the Cavs losses and Utah and whatever.
Yep.
For better or for worse, it's Donovan on the positive end and Donovan on the negative end.
Negative end. And all. But
yeah.
But for the most time, he's a scorer, so people are going to just focus on the fact that, oh, he scored 35 points.
Yeah.
But they
what
don't
else
watch
could what else could he have done?
What else could he have done? But you watch the context of those games, so many times in the fourth quarter, he shoots his team out of those games and all. And time and time again, I've seen that. And also, Harden is the X factor. There's no doubt in my mind that he's the X factor if they want to make the finals.
You know what? That's fair. I wrote down his thumb. You know, he has that injury with his thumb and whatnot. That's one. I also wrote Jalen Tyson because in terms of wing depth, they're relying on a second-year player who really has like exploded this year out of nowhere. But like he's basically what they got. And then I also wrote, I think their biggest X factor as a team is they need to get over the mental hump of the lights are too bright. The playoffs, all the tragic losses, I still think that there is the mental block that they are going to have to overcome in some way. They're going to have to be.
They ain't got it here, man.
Well, you know, it's a slightly different team. We'll see, but no, I think the mental.
If they play the Knicks, can Jared Allen and even Mobley not make Mitchell Robinson punk them.
Bro,
Huh?
I'm scared for them already. Like Mitchell Robinson, man, he is just insane as an offensive rebounder. He's gonna that would be a rough matchup for the Cavs. And I mean, right now they're losing to the Celtics. That's a rough matchup as well. But yeah, I think there's also the mental hurdle that they have to get over. All right, another X factor. This one, okay, let's talk about it. I think that the hurdle, this is kind of a cop out for the Nuggets, but I think at the end of the day, it is injuries specifically to Aaron Gordon and now as well to Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray went out with that ankle injury against the
Mm-hmm.
Knicks. I still don't think they reported how long he's going to be out for yet. Like I didn't see
I don't think
anything
I've seen any. I've not seen
about
anything.
that either,
So,
which is a bit concerning. But it's him and Aaron Gordon, and it's like getting to the point where it's like, you
bro,
know,
they
the clock is
I
ticking.
don't know how many. I need to find out how many games have all of them played together.
I literally saw on Twitter, I believe, they like the entire core. I saw somebody say they played like 7 minutes as like a fully
Huh?
healthy team before, like on court with Gordon and Murray and Cam John.
Run.
I don't know if that's real. Maybe that was like everybody being healthy, but even actually that's not even
Let's
possible.
add stats. Let's add stats, Muse.
No, but yeah, they are it's just injuries and it's getting to the point where it's like, you know, a team like them, you can believe that all they need to do is just be healthy and the switch is flipped. All of a
No,
sudden, offensively, they'll know how to do it. They played together, Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray, Jokic. These guys have played together so long. They'll be able to just switch it on in the playoffs once they're healthy. I think there's a point to that where that doesn't hold true because you still need to get reps in the regular season, even if you're a team that has experience playing together in the playoffs,
no,
on playoff runs. It's getting to the point where it's like, I don't know if you can really make an argument that they can just switch it on like that once they're all
no.
healthy and everything will be fine. I'm getting
That
to the point where I don't think that's possible, and you can't just do that. And
you can't just do that. Yeah, you need some sort of.
yeah. Okay, this is the Nuggets waited. Yeah, the Nuggets waited. This guy's being dramatic about it. He's wrote how many minutes they've waited. They've waited there. It's been 114 days to see the original starting five play together at the same time
Oh
tonight.
my God,
They played 5 minutes and 7 seconds together.
Jesus Christ!
So yeah, that's really it.
It's like someone is coming back and someone is going out, and someone is coming back and someone is going out, and you just
Yeah,
need chemistry. Every
yeah.
season is different. You have Cam Johnson in there who's been, bro, bro,
He's been up and down. You
bro.
know what I'm really excited for? I'm excited for the episode that we do when we get to go back. We get to look at our over and unders. That's what I'm excited about. And I'm excited about when we picked our players for the season. We got to go back and, review have they done. I have a couple misses. You have a couple misses. Cam Johnson is
Bro,
definitely one who has been
Cam
rough
Johnson
this
is making me
season.
Cam Johnson is making me look stupid out there, bro. Like he's making me stupid out there, bro. Like nah, bro, bro.
And he's the type of player I saw people talking. I saw people saying like he had a post game interview where he was like really breaking it down, like how the injury has been affecting him and like getting on the rhythm, whatever. And some guy replied like, "Man, he has a great IQ. He's too smart. He needs to
He's too
be
smart
like
for the basketball.
MPJ. Just get the ball and just instincts, just shoot
You
it."
know what?
Because
You know
there's too
what?
many shots where you shoot it, he
I
shoots it, and
I
I don't believe it's gonna
detested
go in.
I detested MPJ so much. You
Yeah.
know me, I was always on MPJ's ass. But there's that fine line of you playing sports where you have to just be instinctual.
Mhm. And you
Instincts.
just take the
And
shots.
Cam Johnson is too aware.
Mhm.
That's the word.
Yeah.
He's too aware of
Yeah.
every shit.
Yeah.
He's too aware and that awareness means when he missed a wide open shot, I bet he's thinking about it the next one.
Yeah.
MPJ, most likely not.
Yeah. And it's
I'm
also a
always
level of like him integrating still into the team. Like shots like that, he'll like probably second guess taking it the next time and something like that.
hey
Whether
man,
and then
hey man,
MPJ, he was there his
I'm
whole
looking,
career. He's just the
I'm
guy who'll
looking wrong.
shoot it.
I'm looking very, very wrong about the MPJ Cam Johnson trade right now. I'm really
I'm still on the edge on the side that it wasn't bad because you were able to build out the rest of your team. I
yes,
remember there was no bench. They had no bench. They were able to get off MPJ's contract and were able to build out a bench with Valanciunas, with
yes,
Bruce Brown, with Tim Hardaway Jr., um, which I think Valanciunas has been a great pickup for them. They needed a backup center. So I think from that lens, you had to do a trade because you just had to build a bench from something, and MPJ's contract was huge. However, MPJ right now, man, if he was on this team, man, I would feel a lot better about them because
I
he
agree.
probably wouldn't be playing as well as he
Cam
would
Johnson
be
has
right now.
disappointed me, man. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And
what
guess what?
what
Nuggets
what was
play
even that?
OKC tomorrow.
Oh boy, what was the what do they call it?
The
What
X
was
factor.
the X factor for the Nuggets?
I just said in general, like health. It's a
Health.
bit of a
Yes,
cop out, but
yes,
it's been
yes.
so integral. Like Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray now being out. I don't know how long. If he's out until the playoffs, it might be GG's in terms of
It
them
might be
making a
GG's,
big
bro.
playoff
Because
run.
we already know how Jamal takes to come back off injuries,
Yeah,
right?
true,
Right.
true.
It's not an easy, like when he's injured, he's injured. Like that's gonna be a difficult one for him to just come back and all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I completely agree. X factor is health.
Yeah, and then secondly, I would have said defense just because I believe I heard people talking like their defense is like bottom 10, bottom 5 almost, like near with the tanking teams. That would be a secondary one, but that's
I've said it.
also Aaron Gordon being out.
Nuggets defense for me have always been, they've been a bellwether defense. They're not a great defense. They're an average defense, but they can always scale up. I feel I'm not so concerned about their defense just because they always scale up. They know how to game plan defensively. Like look at it, they've never had great defenders. Jamal, not a great defender.
Yeah,
Jokic, not a great defender. Braun is a great defender.
yeah,
AG is a good defender, and all right. Cam Johnson, good defender. It's always been their game planning. They've always been able to scale up the
yeah,
defensively come playoff time. I believe they'll be fine. They'll always set up a game plan and all, and most likely they always stick to it. And I think they'll be fine. But
yeah,
yeah, they need their cogs. They need their cogs.
for sure.
Yeah.
All right, which
Okay,
one do you got
next
next?
next up for me is, and I am selecting this guy because every season we've always talked about this team's particular issue, and I think it's just the reality of thing, and it's Dante DiVincenzo for the Wolves.
Oh,
The fact
really?
that matter is they still don't have a point guard.
Yeah,
They technically still don't have a point guard.
yeah,
And come playoff time, we know what the question is going to be. Ant is going to be double teamed. Ant is going to be triple teamed. They're going to get the ball out of hands, and you need creation.
yeah.
You need creation. You need creation. They have no one on their roster. Look at their roster.
They have Bones
Like
Highland, bro. They got
he's not
Bones
going.
Highland.
I don't see Bones Highland starting significant minutes in come playoff time. I don't
Yeah,
buy that. The question
yeah,
is going to be Donte. And his playmaking and his creation for not himself, the team,
mm,
is going to be very significant on if the Wolves can stop having the same issues. Honestly, I don't think they're going to stop having the same issue, but someone has to answer that call.
yeah.
Someone has to answer that call. And for me, no one on the I know what Julius Randle brings, I know what Nasrid brings, I know what Gobert brings.
I
McDaniels, yes.
I would
Like
say like Julius Randle is my X factor in terms of his playmaking. I think like when Ant is double teamed or whatever, when Ant needs to get off the ball and it reaches Julius Randle this season, he has been a pretty decent in terms of like finding the next guy. He's averaging 5 assists for him. That seems like pretty decent. But I agree in the playoffs, he's going to be getting the ball in spots and he's going to have to create for his teammates. And the point guard thing we've said forever and ever,
ever and
and
ever.
it is what it is. It's just one of those things where you can't really ignore or just say, it won't be an issue this time, or well, we got to figure it out
Yeah.
selectively. I think we've seen that this year with them and the Rockets, etc. When you don't have a real true point guard who can get others the ball in their spots or just handle a lot of the dribbling, even just that part of it, it's tough. Um, so no, that's fair. For the Timberwolves, I really like this team. I have high expectations for them. I want them to be in the Western Conference Finals again. I think it would be really fun if they're able to defeat a Spurs or a Nuggets or something like that. I think Anthony Edwards in the playoffs is he's just amazing. He rises to the occasion.
Mhm.
He's a killer, but their expectations, they've made it to the Western Conference Finals the last 2 years. I'm starting to worry that their expectations, obviously it should be the Western Conference Finals, but I don't know if they can reach that
I
because
don't think
of
they
their
can either.
offensive woes. And I don't know where they go from here next season. Like, what move do you make next? I mean, obviously, if Giannis is available, something like that, you go for that. But I don't really know what they do next. My X factor was just that they've just been so inconsistent up and down. Um, and it was also Julius Randle. Like, they lost to the Magic yesterday, and you shouldn't be losing to the Magic if you're a real Western Conference team. I'm sorry. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'll go next. Let's talk about the Spurs. I think the X factor, I'm gonna say it, man. The X factor is uh Julian Champagny, Devin Vassell, De'Aaron Fox, your 3-point shooting. I expect nothing from Stephon Castle. I expect nothing from their rookies. I believe in the game. They had the game yesterday or 2 days ago. The Spurs played the Clippers. They had a 25-point game. They had a 25-point comeback.
Yes.
It was led entirely by Mr. Julian Champagny scoring, what is that, 17 points in the third quarter, 4 threes.
Mhm.
In that game, I remember them hearing Dylan Harper and Carter Bryant have both made 34 threes this season total, which that's not a lot. Let me see. Total in the season. Yeah, Dylan Harper has made 40. Carter Bryant has made, I believe, like 34. Stephon Castle, he's not a 3-point shooter at all. He's made 54. Julian Champagny is their flamethrower off the bench. Devin Vassell, I believe, is going to have to play a
Man,
big
that dude,
role.
I love seeing him shoot the ball, man.
Yeah. He's 38% from 3 on 6.6 attempts, like, that's really decent. He's made 130 on the season. And then De'Aaron Fox, bro, uh, he's kind of had a very up and down season. I know we've kind of been like, "Oh, they have all the point guards, they have Castle, they have Harper, they have Fox.
Yeah.
It's all good and all that." But I need Fox to level up in the playoffs. Like, he's gotten this contract. We gave him the excuse he's been on the Kings and whatnot. You are on a team that right now is second in the West, making a push to be almost first in the West with how good you guys are. You got Wembenyama on your team. You got to be the number one guy. I know, like I've said, they have all these point guards together, all getting the load here and there. I need Fox to really level up in the playoffs. I
Because
think
again, he has the ball. He's
he,
going
ha-
to have most of the
yeah, he's
ball.
gonna have the ball,
No
and
one is going to have more
I'm worried
usage than
about
him.
the rookies and all that having the ball in the playoffs too much.
Yeah, like he's going Fox is going to have a lot of the ball. He's going to, especially at the ending of games 2 and all,
Yeah,
he's going to have to pretty much show up big time for them come playoff time. Like that's going to be a big emphasis and all because yeah, you when you're the point guy, you have that much user in this current NBA, you gotta show up. You gotta show up. And I think I agree with you. The 3-point shooting is going to be like those two guys, Champagne and Vassell, I trust them. I trust
yeah.
them and all in their 3-point shooting and all. Yeah, yeah.
No, yeah, definitely. Do you think like that they can actually win it all? Because there's so much precedent, historical precedent of teams that are this young with literally zero playoff experience,
Yes.
like none at all. Uh, a bunch of young guys. I remember reading a stat somebody posted on Twitter that there's never been an NBA champion that hasn't at least lost in the second round a year before or years prior. So going
Wow.
from no playoff experience to straight to the finals, it doesn't really happen. I've heard on another podcast, unless like you add somebody, you add like, for example, the Celtics when they added Kevin Garnett, or I believe the Nets when they added Jason Kidd or something like that. When you add a superstar player to your team, you're able to make that type of jump. I wonder if Wembanyama alone, like because he was injured last year, all that. I wonder if him alone is that type of jump to be able to make a finals run. I don't know, because they're just so good. I think Wembanyama defensively, like he's already like at the floor for one of the greatest defenders of all time.
All time. Yes.
He's already he's already a top 10 defender all time, in my opinion.
it,
Like,
he,
just
it's,
based off his size alone, and not
it's,
even just his size, but he is so smart and knows how to use his size and just, intimidate other players into not taking shots. Like, is that enough for the playoffs when everybody says defense wins championships? Defense, defense, defense. I mean, this guy
I think
is,
it's enough for them to advance all the way to the Western Conference Finals. It's
yeah,
enough for them. Like they have really good defenders. That's the thing too, right? You have Stephen Castle, who's a really really good defender. You have what do you call it, Keldon Johnson, okay defender. Luke Kennett is not bad defensively for being a
yeah,
center and all, right?
yeah. He's a
So
decent backup.
so genuinely, like this team, Western Conference Finals, I see it, man.
Yeah.
I see it. I see it. Like win it all. Mm, I don't see that. But
Mm,
they have questions to answer once the playoff comes. It's a different game come regular season when the
yeah.
playoffs come. But they're building the right type of chemistry, and that's the most one of the most important thing about uh,
Yeah.
of regular season is habits, how we play together, how we play together when we're down, when we're up. All these
Mm,
things are
yeah.
what builds you up come a playoff series because you just never know how a playoff game is gonna go.
Mhm.
And the mental toll of 7 games is a lot. So how as a young team they'll have to answer that.
Yeah,
And
but I
that's gonna
think,
be a
like, with
question.
Wembanyama at the helm, like, I think he really wants this, man. Like, as we said in the All-Star game, like, he just wants to win. He had, in the I think he was crying at the end of that, Clippers game because he was saying,
Yeah,
like, it was the hardest 30 hours of basketball in his life. He had the win against the Pistons, he had the comeback against, Clippers the other night, like, this guy is a guy who wants to win
when
badly, and I think in the playoffs, he's really gonna go crazy. I think offensively, teams are really gonna challenge him, and I think that might lead up to some bad games here or there, but, like, defensively, this team is a
he's going
hard
to
out.
he's going to have his say. He's going to have a say on the defensive end. Like
Yeah,
1000% he's going to have his say.
yeah,
And teams have to answer the question of how they attack the Spurs
yeah,
and all.
and if it comes down to the Thunder and Spurs in the Western Conference Finals, we've seen the Spurs beat OKC a bunch this season.
Yes.
It's gonna be a different monster. But if they are able to get to that point,
Hmm.
I don't see how it's impossible for them to beat the Thunder in that case. Like, it's very much possible. They've shown it before. Obviously, in the playoffs, it's gonna be a lot different, a lot more challenging, whatever. But man, they could really. And then if they make it to the finals, do you really see anybody in the East beating them or like confidently
No,
beating them?
the only
Exactly.
team that can beat them is the Knicks. The Knicks can beat
Really.
them. And the biggest reason why the Knicks can beat them is Charles Barkley mentioned this. Cat completely removes Wemby's strength for them.
Mm.
Cat is taking him 30 feet away from the basket.
Yeah.
And
But
I
then you
don't
can put Wembanyama on Josh Hart. You don't need a center to guard Cat, especially if he's going to be out there. We're
you are
going to
going to need you're not going to who are you going to play on him? Like
You could
that's
put
one of the
Keldon. You
biggest.
could put Keldon Johnson maybe on him.
One of the reasons why the Knicks has been beating the Spurs is because of that.
Mm.
Because of that, that particular matchup removes the strength the Spurs have against the Knicks, and I
They
think
did.
that's
They did. I
the
forgot.
one
They
thing
did
I
beat
would
their
say though is,
ass
huh?
recently. The Knicks did beat them pretty badly recently. I forgot
Yeah.
about that. You're
The
right.
one thing I would say though is Stephen Castle is also a problem for Jalen Brunson,
Yeah.
and Castle is an incredible defender, and yeah, so that matchup for me is going to be interesting if they face each other and all. If the Spurs go against any other person in the finals, I think they can win. But the finals is a long way for this young team, bro. It's a very long
Yeah.
way.
No, I could
Like,
definitely see them being a second round exit or even making
yeah,
it to the finals. But it would be challenging just because you're really going from absolutely zero playoff experience to we're there. You know, it just seems really difficult.
yeah.
All right, who do you
Okay.
got next?
This is my last one. This is easy. I'm going to go to Celtics, and the answer
Yeah.
is Jason Tatum, the man that just came back from an ACL injury. It's that simple.
Yeah.
It changes the complexion of the East. It changes the complexion of the East.
Man,
And
I'm
while Tatum,
scared. I'm
while
scared.
Well, I'm scared. The people that should be scared are the Cavs and Knicks. Because if
Mhm.
Tatum comes back this long and the Celtics beat you guys, oh my God. People
Oh,
are going to
man.
have to, heads will roll. People have to lose their jobs, and they deservedly. I
Yeah.
was watching the game. I was watching the highlights of the game he came back on against the Mavs.
Mhm.
And I've been saying it since the season before when Tatum was healthy and all. I always criticize him for this and all. He's just been he's going to be one of the greatest connectors in the history of NBA. And typically, and I think this is the problem, when we look at connectors, they don't value as some of the greatest players in the world, you know, like
Mm.
KD, LeBron, Steph. Those are not connectors. Those are the main guys. Like those
Yeah.
are the main protagonists of what's going on, right?
Mhm.
And Tatum being who he is, this is where the problem is, right? He's like this Swiss Army knife that's also one of the greatest players ever.
Yeah.
But
He can still
the
have
thing is,
crazy offensive games.
yes, but on on an average level, the best guys just have great offensive game.
Yeah.
Tatum has more a holistic type of game, and he's able to do a lot more. So it becomes hard to judge that. No, I won't say hard. It becomes confusing because we've not really seen that before.
Mhm.
I won't say hard. We've not really seen like LeBron was a Swiss Army knife and all, but there's a certain dominance those guys put in the game that you knew. But Tatum does it more subtly and all. But for me, one of the most important things when I watch the Mavs game, and I've been saying this since last season and all, where I'm so impressed with him, he's become one of the best ball movers in the league.
Yeah.
Like from what
7
he was,
assists in that game.
from where he was, from where he was like a lot of his career in terms of moving the ball, in terms of giving up the ball, in terms of finding like I remember the 2022 finals
Yeah.
and all
Well, against the
he
Warriors.
broke record for the whole playoffs for over 100 turnovers, passing James Harden or something like that. And
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
there was a
I
crazy
remember
number.
that. Yeah.
The crazy number he broke. That was the kind of player he was. In
Mhm.
2022, or in 2026, that's like a 4-year gap. And
Yeah.
if you look at the assist against the Mavs, it's skip pass and he's making one-time reads. He's making one time, and I'm like, damn, like I'm a big for most of his NBA career, I've been a big Jason Tatum hater and all.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, that is incredible.
Yeah.
That is incredible for someone to be able to improve their game and develop their game, plus every other thing they are. Like
Yeah.
he's an incredible player. Plus every other thing is having that ball moving, like it's like skip passes, one-time drops, one time that he's so freaking good in it now. Like he's elite in it now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. Like, so Tatum for me is the X factor. Man, it changes the
Absolutely.
complexion of things. It changes the complexions of things in the East. And trust me, the Cavs and Knicks are scared. They're not gonna say it. But I
Yeah.
know
I mean, the
they're
Celtics
scared.
are about to beat the Cavs right now.
Yes.
No, but I agree. The fact that you said that Tatum is the biggest connector is crazy because that just means his game can scale down to the level where he is right now, where he's
He,
still
he, so
he's
his game can scale that. So for example, Caruso is a sorry for interrupting. Caruso is a connector.
Yeah.
Cassim Wallace is a connector. But the connectors, the way we view them as an NBA fan all these years, right? A good example would be who would I give? Um, what's his name? Draymond is also a connector for the. But you see, the way we view these players is not as superstars,
Yeah.
right?
Like a role
It's not
player.
superstars, right? It's not. They are some of them are mumbo like big time role players or
Yeah.
one of the best players on their team,
They're
like
not the
Draymond was.
1A or
They're
whatever,
not the one A.
whatnot.
Like
You don't expect the most from them.
Aaron Gordon is a connector for the Nuggets, right?
Mhm.
And we praise this guy so freaking much. We praise these guys. We give them adulation and joy and love for their position and all in the league being that. We just haven't had to use that same view on the best, probably the best player on the team. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
what a superstar. So it's a very weird thing to think about. And it took me years to just accept that that's why I view him the way I view him. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's
That's
what you're
fair.
saying.
No, but like because he's that type of player where he's really a Swiss Army knife and he can do everything at a very good to great to almost elite level now. When he's coming back right now, obviously the Celtics aren't expecting him to be 30 points per night or anything like that. He can have his games where he has 27 and 5. He can get
Yeah.
7 assists. He had 12 rebounds in the first game against the Mavericks. So he can do everything at a good to great level. And because of that, when he's coming back from injury, you're not really expecting or you don't need his elite scoring
Yeah.
because I think that's also a testament to how good the Celtics are as a roster and as a team, how well coached they are.
Yeah.
Where like Jaylen Brown has had a great season, and then other guys like Derek White is just incredible. Nemias Queta, has just gone crazy this season, and then like a Sam Hauser, Peyton Pritchard, like all these guys are, told by their coach, his name escapes me right now, to just shoot the ball. And Tatum is the same way. Like they don't need him to score 30 every night to win. And because of that, when he's coming back from injury and he's only 70 to 80% of himself, he's still a positive and still giving them, he just like gets back right in the system of that. I don't really understand why everybody was like, oh, he's going to mess up, the flow of the
Yeah.
team, the whatever, of the motions
He's
of the
not that
team,
type of
whatnot.
player.
No, literally not. Like, and now I'm worried. Now I'm really worried. Do you know that one meme is like that British guy was like, no, now I'm scared, whatever. That's how I feel because the Celtics, I think I didn't view them at all as like a true contender without Tatum. Now that he's come back and he's looking decent, man, this team is maybe my Eastern Conference Finals. Like I expect them to make it out of the East now because Cavs, Knicks, Pistons, all of these other teams, I think their questions are more integral to who they are. Like Pistons
Soft
is
in the soft in
shooting,
the soft in the
and
middle.
shooting and K. Cavs is mental and Harden. Knicks is we didn't actually get to the Knicks. I think we still need to get to the Knicks. But Knicks, I wrote that it's like KAT. KAT, I think, needs to just have a better playoffs than he has been. Mitchell Robinson needs to have a big role as well. And Jalen Brunson as well hasn't had as good of a season as he's had in prior years. But I think Eastern Conference Finals, I think it might be Knicks and Celtics right now, I would say.
So
Um,
your X factor for the Knicks is Cat.
yeah, I think so. I think just in general, because he hasn't had, you know, the same offensive season. He's not shooting as many threes. He's rebounding the ball really well. And just the whole season, everybody, you know, has just questioned their role offensively. But I did see this tweet that since January 20th, when the Knicks lost to the Dallas Mavericks and they were 2-9 in the last 11 games, since then, they've gone 16-5 and they are first in net rating, first in defensive net rating, are first in defensive rating, fourth in offensive rating, and first in defensive rebound percentage since that embarrassing loss against the Mavericks. So they've been a lot better, a lot more consistent since that weird stretch that they had. Um, and I would put them solidly as I would put them slightly above the Celtics for now, just because Tatum's still coming back. But once
Yeah.
it gets to the playoff time, I think Celtics might be my team to make it out.
Yeah.
Um,
I think the Celtics are going to put a lot of emphasis on how they end the season. They are going to want to see how their chemistry comes and how Tatum comes along and all.
for
And
sure.
bro, when they get to that playoffs, they are going to scare the living daylight of these teams, man. They are
Yeah,
going to scare the living daylight of these teams. And
absolutely.
I don't believe the Knicks and Cavs have that dog in them to withstand that. So I completely agree. I'm
Yeah.
going to go with the people that, as far as I'm concerned, they're not contenders, but we get to talk about them either way. And this is the last pick of the day, right?
Yes, sir.
I don't even have an X factor for you, bro. I don't have an X factor for you. I honestly, what am I going to tell you? I'm going to tell you DeAndre Ayton is the X factor. Is that what I'm going to tell you? The Lakers X factor is right.
I wrote my X
Honestly,
factor.
my answer
Actually,
for
I
the
don't
X
have one.
factor, my answer for X factor is Austin Reaves. It's Austin Reaves, and the reason why I'm putting that, people like, oh, are you crazy? Like, oh, Austin Reaves is one of the best players on the team and all. He's not been having good playoffs. He's not
Yeah,
had good
you've been
playoffs.
saying it for a long
He's not
time
had
that
good
you don't
playoffs.
believe
One
him in
of
the
the reasons
playoffs.
why this is a very pivotal time for Austin Reeves' career, because especially being a Laker going forward, because
Mhm.
if he has a masterclass of a playoff series, let me say the Lakers go all the way to the Western Conference Finals,
Mhm.
right? And he plays awesome.
Yeah.
He's gonna get the money he wants. But
Yeah.
for me, I've been saying it for a while. I'm like, I don't think you give him this money. I think locking yourself in, and it's not because I don't like Austin Reeves. I really like
Yeah.
Austin Reeves. I just think he doesn't scale up when you face the defenses the Lakers are going to face. He struggles against physical defenses. He struggles because he has to defend a bunch. This team is going to have Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves on the field, on the court.
Yeah.
How they're going to defend is still another thing I don't even want to even talk about. But it's a big thing for Austin Reeves because it's like he's just never really had a great playoff.
Yeah.
Like he's had very underwhelming. And bro, I'm sorry, for you to be 35 plus million, you gotta have a great players. And I'm speaking as the X factor because I don't even know if he's an X factor because of one reason. Okay, Austin Reeves have the great players. I still see this Lakers team losing games. Like
Yeah.
I still
I
like
don't
in
I
terms of
don't
like
see them as I don't think they're making out of the first round. I think that's pretty clear to say.
yeah. So also even having them as contenders here is very
Yeah.
confusing because
I
who am
just
I going to
wanted
tell you?
to
Am I going to tell you
include them.
Arabia? Am I going to tell you Marcus Smart? I'm going to tell you Luke Kennard. I'm going to tell you Riyadh. Like, come on, man. This is not a championship level contending team,
Yeah.
man.
No, I
And
know.
the only player that I think about is, and I will even say it's more of a question of the future thing. Are we
No,
going to
that
move
yeah, that's a
forward with
good point. The whole time you were saying that, I'm like, this is an X factor for the Lakers' future because how well
future?
he plays
Are we moving
in the
on with you?
playoffs is the X factor for his contract and therefore their future and therefore their defensive backcourt and all that with
Yes.
Luka and Reeves. Like that's
It's three options, right? We're either moving forward with you with less money
yeah,
because you did not show up these playoffs. We're moving forward with you with more money, which is going to fuck them. Or
yeah.
you're going to probably go to Utah or go somewhere else and go get all your money. I just don't think they should pay him the money. I've been saying it
No,
for so long. People think I'm
yeah.
crazy. I just don't think they should pay them money. Maybe they go something cheaper. I'm not saying let Austin Reeves leave Lakers. No, it's more in the playoffs, the struggle against physical defenses and his shot selection in the playoffs has been on the very, very bad. Like he goes for this, trying to break people down on the 3-point line and go for these difficult 3-point shots when he's a what do you call it? That paint area to like 18 feet, 17 feet,
Mm.
he's a killer in it.
Oh yeah.
He's unable to get that a lot also because of physical defenses, but that's where he should be operating, but he doesn't come
Mm-hmm.
playoff time. He takes a lot of bad shots. Like a lot of bad shots. You're
And
not
free
Looker.
throw shooting as well.
You're not,
He's not going to get the calls as much in the
yes,
playoffs.
you're not Looker. Luka can take some bad shots too,
Oh
but
yeah.
you don't bring what you bring to this team compared to that guy. It's the gap is humongous, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Luka is going to be same. To be honest, we don't even need to mention like Luka has seen every type of playoff defense, so it's not like anything's going to surprise. He's seen every single thing. He's
Yeah.
dealt with every single thing, so he knows what he's going to get. And teams are going to give him different looks and different coverages. I'm not expecting too much on LeBron. LeBron is going to be LeBron. Some days it's going to be 30 points. Some days it's going to be 15 or 18. He's 41 years old. We should not have any sort of
Yeah.
expectation. I do agree the 41-year-old is making 50 million a year, so that's a problem. But right now they are where they are. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, bro. I would say in all of them, the one person that is more of an X factor than anybody is Marcus Smart in terms of player that can make a
Bro,
back.
I swear every single time I watch the Lakers game, Marcus Smart is always making some BS3 end of the game. He had one game, I don't know what it was. It was a close game. He takes his first shot of the game and it's a BS3 and it goes in. And I'm like, this is what this guy, this from the Celtics to the Lakers, this is who he is. He just takes some
and with
BS shots
Marcus,
that
it's
go
just a
in.
simple cut of he's the one player that doesn't need to be, as I said, actuated by any of their best players. Marcus Smart is we know how he is. He's Alex Caruso light.
Yeah.
He's these guys light, right? Like they make plays out of nothing and they will make those defensive plans. For a team that is bad defensively, they will need it. Marcus Smart will have to play a lot of minutes for this team and all in the playoffs. So he is my X factor, but I just think about Austin Reaves being not having good playoffs for a while, and he has to show up. He has to show up, and I'm leaving it at that. I don't even buy. You can even see from I don't even buy them as contenders. But
No.
yeah,
For sure. All right, to wrap up then for the West, we're saying the Thunder, Spurs, Rockets, Timberwolves, Nuggets, and then not really the Lakers. Because then after that, it's the Suns, the Warriors, the Clippers. I don't care about them.
Bye-bye.
And then in the East, it's the top four: Pistons, Celtics, Knicks, Cavs. If one of those teams isn't in the the second round or something like that, like
that would be insane. It's not possible.
That would be crazy.
It's not possible. Yeah.
Because after that, it's a real drop off. Then we get to my Raptors. And the East is all of a sudden a bloodbath because the Raptors, Magic, Heat, Sixers are all a game and a half apart. And then the Hawks have suddenly won 6 games in a row. Jonathan Kuminga, resurgence. Jonathan Kuminga is a real player. And then as soon as the Hornets started winning games, everybody else above them in the East started winning games. But yeah, man, I don't really see anybody else in that East. So we basically have 10 real or 9-ish real contending possible teams to win.
Yeah.
And yeah, all of the X factors as we've laid down today. I'm very excited as we get closer to the end of the season. I'm really excited we're gonna obviously have the whole episode where we go through all the playoff matchups. We'll have an episode for awards, and then we'll have episodes for, probably looking back over the season, what we've learned for some teams, whatnot, what we, our preseason winner, like who we picked as our players for the season, those good and bad picks, the over and unders. And then I think we also have to have an episode where we say a goodbye to all the teams, all the tanking teams. We got to give them, everybody, you get 10 words or less for your season, and then we will not talk about you until the draft or whatever else, because they aren't a factor anymore in the season. But yeah, man, this has been Pushing the Pace, another great episode, X Factors, with myself, Elias and Samuel. Thank you, everybody, for watching, listening. Subscribe, like, share. If you see any clips on socials, repost them and send them to everybody, that this is the best podcast in the world.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Comment, argue, disagree.
Yes,
bring it on.
Please, everybody. Thank you. Take care. Have a good night.